I had been in a party. I remember this party vividly. It was crazy. Like there was a smorgasbord of drugs, and I had taken a ton of different types of pills. I didn't know even what they were, and I was drinking on top of them and was completely blacked out. And I was driving a small Chevette car by myself, and I remember looking down for something and being so out of it that I just continued to look down for something and stopped driving, even though I was like driving down Delaware, 19th Street. There was a truck parked, and my car swerved right into it, and I flew through the windshield and then got pulled back. It was a very bloody scene. Like there was blood everywhere. It was very bad. Like, and it had to have looked like possible death, was because they were screaming and people and mind you, nobody else was in the wreck because the truck was parked with nobody in it, and I was in the car, so it was other bystanders from wherever. But a lady came and opened the door of the car and rocked me back and forth 3 or 4 times and said, "Please, Lord, save this child's life." And I when the ambulance came up, I remembered her the whole time, and I was talking about her, and they later on said that they didn't see her. The guy who owned the truck had come out at one point. He didn't see her. I know that whether she was a human walking with us or an angel, that what she did saved my life, because it was very strange that I had nothing internal, zero. I look back at that as a very, it always sticks with me because something happened on that night. I tried many times to get clean and failed, many times. I mean hundreds of times. So I would go, every time I went to a detox center, I said, I thought that was the last time I was going to use, and then the sickness kicked in, and I was actually one of the people in Indianapolis, and there's a lot of them, that were known to sneak out. Even though you can just sign out of the detox center, I would sneak out because I didn't want to face anybody and tell them I can't do this time, and find a way to score and to get high. When I finally said once and for all, I'm not going back to the methadone clinic, I mean, I got so sick. I was calling my mother, who at this time, we had a better relationship because I was no longer a street drug user, and I was working a normal job and living in an apartment and so on. And I just begged her to give me, some type of pills. I didn't have any connections anymore. This has been a few years in the methadone program, and I'm screaming in my bed, crying, and she knew through going through programming not to give me anything. And I, almost called old connections. And it was a very deep moment, but speaking of meant to be, I know God was in my life at that moment too, because I spent a week in bed and I made it through somehow, some way. But I know that God got me through that moment, and that we made a decision that we're done with this period and going on to another chapter in your life. We work with about 1,900 students pretty much every day of the year except for holidays on various projects and various tracks. Some of those are plays that deal with social issues that young people in Indianapolis deal with. Others are big fairy tales with messages embedded into them. Everything that we do is self-empowerment through theater, and everything we do is all about instilling confidence, creativity, and discipline in the human being through the art of theater. It is absolutely was meant to be for me to be an educator, and I think that there isn't one class that even goes by whereas I'm walking into that class that I have a quick vision of everything that I've gone through, and that I understand that what we're doing goes beyond theater lessons. And it truly is a mission. Everything is embedded in doing the right thing. And though we're not a religious organization, I walk in every day knowing that what we're doing is Jesus' work on earth.